Hi, it's Rihanna. Welcome back to Rihanna Vents, where we talk about whatever I feel like talking about that day. Easter is today, so if you celebrate, happy Easter. If you don't celebrate, happy 420. If you don't celebrate 420, I hope you had a wonderful Sunday. How did my Easter go? Well, my family's never really been the type to talk politics, at least not my dad's side of the family. I guess a little bit, like sometimes we talk politics, but holidays usually not. But that felt like all we talked about. Which is fine and dandy, I guess. I mean, I don't want to make this channel about my politics or where I lie in myself, but I have people who are on like the opposite political spectrum from me. And there were some things said by some people that just ended up making me so upset that I couldn't help but say something. I wanted to hold my tongue, but I just couldn't. I'm not gonna go into the details because honestly, again, I don't want to make this about politics, but it started off as soon as I got there. As soon as we got there, my aunt came and my cousin, and then she made a comment about the president, which set some other people off, which resulted in political conversation numero uno, which I don't know about you, but that's one too many political conversations I want to have with my family. I know that we don't necessarily align. I think some of them, I can't change them. And usually it's not worth the emotional strain it puts on me, and it did put an emotional strain on me. But like I said, I could not hold my tongue, because I'm very opinionated. That's one thing about me. I will say for a long time, I didn't really spend time with my family. My dad's side, at least. I kind of stopped seeing him when I was like just turned 13. And then I ended up just really doing holidays at my mom's house. And then when I was 18, I moved out with my ex and I exclusively went to his holidays. And then when we broke up, I started going to my grandma's house and then also my mom's house. But now me and my mom are like low contact. So I did not go to her house. So it was just my grandma's house. And like I said, this isn't usually something we talk about, but I don't think they realize that I'm very opinionated, because I think I shocked my aunt a little bit, because I kind of went off. It was, I mean, we were on the same side, me and her, kind of. I mean, we're on the side of our opinion about the president, not so much everything, but you know, that is common ground for us too. I went off probably a little bit harder than I wanted to, but I can't hold my fucking tongue for the life of me, so yeah. I don't even know why I bothered, because they didn't believe anything I said anyways. Like, what's kind of messed up to me is, like, at least during the first conversation, I brought up, like, two facts that are very well known about current, politics in the United States right now. And they thought I was, like, lying for some reason. They were like, "No, that's not true." And, like, they were so confident. I've been kind of, like, very low with paying attention to politics as well, because I've just been in a really bad emotional state, and it's just something that puts a really heavy weight on me sometimes. I tend to be very empathetic, and unfortunately, this world is very cruel, so empathy can sometimes be very painful. I think empathy is a really great trait, and I wish a lot of people used it more or tried to be more empathetic, but I understand that it doesn't come as easily to everybody, and we all have our circumstances, and I want to be more understanding. I want to be more kind to my family, even when they make these comments that are upsetting to me. But yeah, that was conversation numero uno, so that was how we started. And then we stopped, and then my uncle came, with my other cousin, and I think then my cousin, her daughter, and her boyfriend came, and it got brought up again, because I wasn't it. I can't even, honestly, I don't even fully remember that conversation right now, but I was holding my tongue. There were a couple things said that I really wanted to speak up on, but I just really didn't want to get upset again. I really did not want to make a scene again, because unfortunately, when you get really upset in a political conversation, people take that as a weakness with you, and they tend to look at you and your opinion, like, lower, or they think you're clouded by emotion, so you're not using logic, so they don't really respect your opinion as much. I can't really remember. Oh, I remember what I said. Yeah, I do. Yeah. There was a couple things said here and there. I was just skirting through. But then, it came to a point and I had to say something again. So I did. And that was okay, I guess. I don't know, as I was having these moments, I was very upset. I was very anxious when I was, like, texting my boyfriend. I was describing these as, like, I just freaked out. So, like, the first time I was like, I just freaked out, and then I was like, I just freaked out again, because that's how it felt. It felt like I was erupting, because it was just, it was just so much. It was just so much, and we never do this. And I wish we would just have continued with that. Yeah, so that was something. And then I think I got a little too real with them. I got a little too real about my mental health and my mental state and my energy and my emotional bandwidth. I mean, I low-key said some iconic things. But again, I don't want to make this channel about my politics. And I guess I don't want to delve too much into my personal life, because I do want to keep this about me, I guess. Just me getting feelings off my chest. But I don't like having political conversations. I mean, I do, when my opinion is taken seriously and respected, but that's not often the case, because I'm young, I don't know. When I'm talking to Gen Alpha, I don't feel freaking young. I feel really out of touch at 25 sometimes, but to them, I'm young. So for them, it's just, I don't know. A lot of people think as you get older, your feelings and stuff change, and I don't know, I feel like I've only been doubling down more. The older I get, the more I'm like, I am on what I think aligns with my morals and values. And I think that's what politics usually are, unfortunately. I wish politics were more about facts and logic. But no, it's a lot about our morals and values, right? The things that we think are right, wrong, just, unjust, that's really what goes into politics. And a big thing is how much it impacts that person. So sometimes talking to certain people, you have some really out of touch conversations where they don't understand your side. Like, they'll say they understand, but they don't, right? Because what they say after that doesn't line up, right? Yeah, at one point we talked about my mental state, and it was like, oh, you just gotta keep pushing, you gotta just keep pushing, life is hard, I don't want life to be hard. If life is so difficult, why did every single one of you guys have kids? Why did you all go, ooh, life is hard, let's bring children into this? And I'm saying that as somebody who wants kids. Like, I don't want to bring them into a world that is gonna just hurt them the way it's hurt me, So, like, I've decided that if I'm not in a good place, especially mental health wise, I'm not gonna have children. It'll just have to be something that I don't do. I might even just go straight for like adoption at some point, even if I do have good mental health, because I'm a little concerned about passing this down. I don't know though. We all have hopes and dreams and aspirations, and one of mine has always been to be a mother. Adoption's never bothered me. I've always been down for adoption. In fact, I actually really want to adopt. I think it would be nice to adopt. And I think they're just as much your kids as anybody else, right? I don't know. Today was kind of rough, and I got really emotional, and I probably looked like a freaking fool, and you know what? I probably said stuff that was a little bit too concerning, because I'm not in a good mental health spot. I'm just not, a lot of things are just not really going my way right now, And yeah, one thing about me, I do have my opinions. So Easter was a little rough. The food was good. I had chocolate pie. That slapped. The chocolate pie was really good. It was nice seeing my grandma. It was nice seeing my grandpa, even when he said some things that upset me. It was nice seeing all of my family. I didn't see my brother. He had to work. But that's okay. And I didn't see, like, my mom or my little sister or my stepdad because, again, low contact with my mom. I might call my grandma, my mom's mom. I think that might be a good idea, maybe tomorrow. Want to see how she's doing. Yeah, it was just... it was okay, I guess. We made it through, right? I made it through the end. I got home. I'm alive. I'm trying to be more positive. But when I say those things, it doesn't feel like what they act like it should make you feel. Like, my dad goes, when I wake up, like, that's a good day. I'm like, girl, when I wake up, sometimes I wish I didn't. Like, you don't understand. You can't exactly walk in my shoes, and I know that. And I know sometimes it's a little harder to wrap your head around mental illness if you don't have it. Or maybe if it presents in a different way, if you have a different type of mental illness, like we can't all perfectly understand one another. But I did try to make them look at the world in a more empathetic position. Whether or not that worked, I don't know. My uncle asked me, well, how do you solve it? And I said, I don't fucking know. Why does everybody demand a solution? Sometimes we have to talk about the problem to even figure out a solution. If you only are allowed to talk about a problem if you have a solution to the problem, then so many problems are gonna just be under the surface that nobody talks about. I mean, I have my opinions on how things should go. Some of them I think are more extreme and a little harder for them to understand, so I kind of boiled down my arguments a little bit more. I didn't really go into all of the things I believe. It was bad. Honestly, it was bad. I felt horrible. I was shaking and I was upset and I almost cried at one point. So much stuff was said and I was just astounded. But beyond that, it was okay. I want to start doing a thing where we end each video with saying something good that happened today. And if you would like to as well, if you would like to join in, comment one good thing that happened to you today. Or one neutral thing. By the way, it doesn't have to be like the best thing ever. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I won the lottery. It could be like, I had a nice walk to work, or my tea tasted especially good this morning. It can be anything good. It can be neutral. It can be, let's just talk about something that's not bad, I guess. I want to end the video on a positive note because I know a lot of these videos will end up being negative, as right now my life is negative, so my vents will be negative. One good thing that happened today, I wore a very cute dress and it had pockets. That was nice. I like dressing up for holidays. It's always been my thing. I guess my mom really got it in my head when we would go get Christmas dresses, we would get Easter dresses. I like dressing up for the holidays. I like looking nice for the holidays, even though nobody really else does. I mean, my dad looks nice. My dad dressed up, I think because I dressed up. They don't need to, though, right? Like, that's not why I do it. I don't do it because I think I have to. I do it because I like it, right? It makes me feel good, and that's really my aim, and a lot of times, is to make myself feel good, because a lot of the time, I focus on how other people feel. So it's good once in a while to focus on how I feel. So today I focused on how I felt by wearing a really cute dress that I liked. I had picked it out. I had made sure it was the right size. I ordered it. I put it on. It fit great. I sent a picture. I sent it to my boyfriend. He said I looked cute. That sounds wonderful. Today started out pretty good. I woke up early. Probably because I've been taking naps. So yeah, that was a good thing that happened today. So I guess that's it. Thank you for watching if you're here. If you're not here, that's okay too, because this is kind of for me, right? As much as I am posting these videos online, this is just to have stuff off of my chest. Have a space to just breathe. Anyways, let's not be negative when we end this video. I will say tomorrow is a new day, and I hope it will be better.